Hey, it's Soul with news, opinions, and analyses, and today I'm just going to do a really quick guide on making some gold. So we're going to make some gold gathering Dreamleaf, and you might have seen videos or you've heard tips about all the benefits of getting that stuff, and as of this time, as of the 7.1 patch and then some, that hasn't changed. You're still going to make some pretty good money off doing it, even though you have the whole Blood of Sargeras vendor that's going on. I mean, the reality of it was that while there was a nice little drop in prices for a little while, thanks to the Blood of Sargeras, we ran out. There's only so many Blood of Sargeras that people can gather at a certain point, so there's been a lot of people that have been gathering up those resources, and now they're gone. So prices of herbs have been steadily going back up, and with Dreamleaf, that is a special note to talk about, so let's get right to it. So consider this as a top to bottom guide. I'm going to show you guys how to make some really good money in, to be honest, just a few minutes. But first, there are some prerequisites. First things first, you are going to want to have herbalism, and you probably want to have some sort of auctioning add-on. In this case, with this guide, I'm going to be using TradeSkillMaster. Alright, so we're going to go out to this location here over in Val'sharah. It's kind of close to the raid and the instance that's nearby, and we're going to be looking for these plant looking guys, not necessarily the tree guys, but there's these little plant things. All you gotta do really is kill them and loot them. That's about it. You don't have to go for like any elite trees. You don't necessarily even have to be on such a fierce lookout of the herbs that are about. But I mean, of course, if they're there, definitely get them. As far as I know, at least, if you have a higher skill of the gathering for Dreamleaf, that's gonna help you all the more, since I am able to get Blood of Sargeras stuff, and if you don't need the blood for anything, then get more Dreamleaf. That's all the better. So sorry about how my inventory looks, but I'm back in town now. I just farmed for I think about 20-25 minutes or so. I was able to get 259 Yserline seeds and 458 Dreamleaf, which ain't bad at all. So normally that would be the end of this guide, but we're going to take things a little bit further. I'm going to show you guys how to set up auctions for this guy, as well as well, maybe tell you guys another way to possibly make money off of this Dreamleaf other than just selling it on the auction house directly. So first, let me get this stuff out of here. I have certain things set up. I'm going to have these herbs and whatnot sent over to my scribe, to my inscription person, and well, I'll be right back. Alright, so here I am on my mage, or otherwise my scribe person. I already got the herbs out from the mailbox. I also did some calculations ahead of time, and based on the calculations, at least on my server, and I'm on the Bleeding Hollow realm. Hi guys. Dreamleaf was going for an average of 35 gold for each herb, so for one, and these seeds, these Yserline seeds, they're going for about 10 gold each. So when we do the math and get all that stuff together, we get like almost 18,500 gold, which is not bad at all for about like 15-20 minutes of work. But that's not quite where it stops there. Now, as a scribe, I make glyphs, and glyphs, they make some pretty decent money. I think I'm at a little over 2 million that I generated over the past month and a half or so. So it's pretty good money. But what I wanted to kind of illustrate here is just the feasibility of how much Dreamleaf really is, this whole Dreamleaf farming method, just how lucrative can it be. So we're going to take a look at that and see what the cost of inscription stuff is, as opposed to just selling the raw materials. So here I have all these materials here. These seeds, to be honest, even if we were to mill them or grind them down into pigments, there's not a whole lot. It's not very lucrative. So we're going to stick with just the Dreamleaf. We're going to mill these suckers right now, right before your eyes, and hopefully not blow a lot of money. So let's give this a go. I don't have any pigments in my inventory right now. We're just going to take a look at, hey, how much does 458 Dreamleaf, how much does that translate to with regards to inscription mats? So we're gonna let this thing run, and we're seeing we're starting to see the stuff pile up. But note the nightmare pod over here. This is a special kind of inscription kind of fallout item that appears every now and then whenever we're milling. So we're gonna see how many I get out of here. Alright, so we got 12 pods, we have 183 rosate pigments, and 22 of these sallow pigments, and I'll tell you about these a little bit more in just a few. So these nightmare pods, like I said, you get like little goodies out of here. Let's see, when we open up one, we get Let's see if I can get this to work right. So we got 18, 183, and 22. So we got like 9 roseate pigment and 2 sallow pigment out of that. The cool thing is that inside a nightmare pod can be another nightmare pod, so which isn't bad. So now we're at 11, 10, 9, 8. 8 again, so that means we got another nightmare pod out of that. Okay, actually I'll just show it right here. Here's the loot table. So yeah, we're seeing more stuff, and I'll just kind of run it through here. Oh goodness, wow, it's giving me a lot of extra stuff. Okay, nice. All right, so now we're at 362 roseate pigments. We're at looks like we're still at 45 45 solid pigment. I just have a lot of stuff in the bank, sorry. So now let's kind of take a look at the auction house price of these things. I'm in Old Dell, by the way. Hey. We're going to take a look at the price of these items and just kind of compare it to the original total that we had for the Dreamleaf that we had. You know, actually, let's be a little fair. You can only mill 20. You can mass mill 20 things at a time, but we have to manually mill these other couple guys here. So let's do these, make sure that we're solid. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see how much roseate pigment is worth. And I probably should have done these calculations earlier, but oh well. Alright, so I know that on my realm, roseate pigment is going for a really ridiculous price right now, and I'll tell you why later, but wow. You know, to be honest, I've seen these going for like as low as 10 gold, maybe like a couple of weeks ago, but it's definitely gone up, and now we're seeing it at freaking 65 gold. All right, so 65 gold it is. Let's take a look at sallow pigment. So you know, roseate pigment and sallow pigment, these are used for making glyphs, but I think a big focus, apart from glyphs, is that this also creates the Tome of Tranquil Mind. Those are items that raiders and some dungeoneers like to use whenever they need to respec, or I'm sorry, change talents whenever they're not in a rested area. So they are pretty valuable. They go really quickly, especially during raid nights. So, all right, so we're seeing sallow pigments. They're going for well, 146 gold for sallow pigments. So if we calculate, you know, what we have versus how much these are worth. So where's my calculator guy? I'm like doing this real time. I'm so slow at this. All right, so 368 roseate pigment times 65 gold is 23,920 gold. All right, so 146 gold times, let's see, how many sallow pigment? 46 sallow pigment. So that's going for 6,716 gold. So the napkin math that I'm looking at here, we're looking at, well, 26 grand that we're getting out of that, as opposed to the 19 grand that we're getting out of just the Dreamleaf and the Cerulean seeds. Oh, actually, you know, I didn't even factor the seeds, so that's even a little bit more. So we're looking at almost 33 grand, or, you know, we're looking at well over 30 grand of materials that we're getting through inscription mats. So at the moment, this is doing really weird things with the market right now. I think not a lot of folks are really super hyper aware of the kinds of prices that we're seeing. Now, note that in order to create these, I'll do a search on these right now. I think that's how it, no, Tome of the Tranquil Mind. Ha ha ha. There we go. Alright, so Tome of the Tranquil Mind is going for, anywhere between 400, 500 gold or something like that. Now, in order to create the Tome of the Tranquil Mind, and I'm sorry that I'm kind of throwing up windows here. Might be a little disorienting, but you can kind of see here that the recipe for creating a Tome of the Tranquil Mind is 1 sallow pigment and 10 roseate pigment, which is kind of weird because the roseate pigment is going for around 60 or so gold. A sallow pigment goes for 100 and something gold, and yet the Tome of the Tranquil Mind is only going for 450. So everyone who's selling a Tome of the Tranquil Mind at the moment, including me, is selling it at a loss. What am I doing? I just humiliated myself in a recording. Okay, so I should probably pull those things. That's me, by the way. So I should probably pull those things out of the market, at least in the meantime, and just sell materials as is, because that's definitely the big money maker right now, just selling pigments. Right now, there aren't a whole lot of people that are aware of the pricing that's going around. So my suggestion to you guys would be to take advantage of that as best as you can. Sell, if you can get away with it, if you have a scribe, mill this stuff and get it out of here. Alright, so let's set up doing this whole auction stuff. Go ahead and hit TSM. We're gonna go here to groups. There are no groups set up because I cleared my profile just now. We're gonna make a new group, and I'm just gonna call this Rosé Pigment, because this right now is super over market price, at least on my realm, and of course this is gonna vary. So once we have that group made, it's going to prompt us to add stuff into the group. So we'll hit Rosé Pigment, hit add twice maybe. All right, so now we have Rosé Pigment in here. From here go to operations, and you can see all the different behaviors that we can perform. We're just going to keep things really simple. We'll stick to auctioning, and under here where it says the operation, it's going to say no operation. Let's make a new one. What's the name of this operation? We're selling Rosé Pigment. So we'll just call it that, call it how it is. Hit OK. Would you like to add the new operation to Rosé Pigment? Yeah, sure, okay. Leave everything as is, at least for now. Like I said, we're just doing a really basic setup for people that are trying to maximize their profits. So go ahead and hit post. We'll set the duration kind of low. We'll set it to 12 hours, and at the post cap, we'll just do like one stack at a time, just to kind of keep things safe for now. But we'll go ahead and just go straight to 200. We'll sell a full stack of this stuff because, well, hey, if people can get away with selling it, cool. So we'll set this minimum price. We want to set it pretty high. We want to make sure that we're trying to make as much money as possible. Now, I had said that this thing makes used to sell for about 10 gold once upon a time. We'll go ahead and try to be a little I guess we'll try 30 gold just to see how things work out. The maximum price going right now for 65 gold seems really high, but hey, if that's how the market wants to behave, then that's how it's going to be. So we'll set it to like, oh, I don't know, 75, something crazy like that. This normal price here is what the price we would post it at if no one else was selling Rosé Pigment, which is probably impossible. There's always going to be someone selling something, especially excuse me, especially a commodity like this. So I don't know, I guess we'll let it be at 100 gold, something ridiculous, just to see if we can possibly get someone to buy this stuff. I'm sure they won't. I'm sure someone is bound to undercut this, but you know what, let's just give it a shot. Whenever the price is below minimum, we'll set it to not post items. We probably want to avoid selling at this price for as long as possible. So if anyone dares to undercut that low, we'll probably have to monitor the price and just try to make sure that we're following the average price that's going. But if someone's trying to do some sort of ridiculous undercut in order to maybe try to buy out like a dumb auctioneer or something like that, we'll try to avoid that. So we'll set this at 30 for right now, but of course we'll definitely want to try to monitor the price. If it's above the maximum, let's say everyone is selling it for about 200 gold or so. Okay, I guess that's maybe that's what we want to let happen. Maybe not. For now though, I'll set it at normal price because, to be honest, while I do like making a whole lot of money, there's a certain line that's to be drawn. We don't want to totally screw people over out of their money, just maybe a little bit. So we'll leave all that stuff as is. The rest of this stuff we'll leave alone, and let's see if I screwed this up or not. I hope not. Otherwise, I'd have been talking for a while for like no reason. So when you open up your auctioneer person, just go to auctioning here. We see our group here, Rosé. Did I even spell that right? We have Rosé Pigment there. So let's start the post scan and see what we get. Please do it right. Come on. Alright, cool. So we're undercutting this guy. We're going to be selling it at 65 gold or so. And that's pretty much it. I myself am not and probably not going to be selling roseate pigments, at least not yet. I'll have to double check our glyph prices and see if any of that stuff makes sense for me. But this is just kind of an example for you guys on how to sell these pigments. And of course, you can set up these groups and apply it to the Dreamleaf or any herb or heck any item that you want. It's not so bad once you have it all set up for the first time and you get a feel, a look and feel for it. So that's pretty much the guide. So hopefully you guys can take this and make a little bit more money, and hopefully not do this on my realm. And that's pretty much it. So hey, if you guys enjoyed this, please feel free to hit a like, and if you enjoy my content, please hit a sub, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Stay breezy.